Hi, everybody. I'm Laurel Anter, and I wanted to offer a workshop exploring color again, but this time a color relationship, which is complementary, and it's going to be an expressive arts thing. So we'll explore two colors and how they interact with each other, and then explore the deeper meanings of that through some writing. So, the first thing you want to do is just use whatever art supplies you want. I'm not going to provide a list, just work with whatever you enjoy. So, I'm just going to be grabbing things as I want. The thing that you want to uh, limit, oops, sorry, I bumped the table. It's very shaky. Look at that. Look how that's terrible, terrible shakiness. The thing that's important is that you want them to be opposite. Now, that can be opposite in a color theory kind of way. So, picking, for example, orange and blue, like colors that are opposite on the color wheel. I don't have a color wheel handy, but I'll tell you the basic ones: orange and blue, red and green, purple and yellow. You can also just pick two colors that feel opposite, even if according to color theory, they're not. You can just do black and white. But what you want to get is two things that, like your favorite color and the color that you hate. Whatever, however you decide that, you want them to be opposite in some kind of way. And then whatever other supplies you need. And then did I record? Am I recording? Yes. Sorry. It's very typical of me to forget to record. Um, uh, yes, so whatever other art supply or supplies that you need. So if you want to pause this video while you get those things, I need to pause the recording because I'm completely not set up. Um, and then we shall get started. So I'm gonna hopefully I can pause this recording. Yes, hopefully I'll remember to start it again. So I will see you back in a little bit. All right, so I just needed to get some water. Everything else is on hand. And I have no idea what I'm going to do. I feel like I want to explore a set of complementary colors I use a lot in my work. I just love blue and orange. I tend to use those two colors a lot in my work. I've never really thought about the deeper meanings of those colors to me. So, I'm gonna, as an experiment, I almost always do the writing afterwards, but I think as an experiment, I want to just kind of think about on a basic level what those colors mean to me, and then see if in the actual working with those colors and what happens when those colors are combined and put next to each other, if I can uncover some deeper meanings. So as I'm going to be working, I'm going to have my volume off because I'm going to play music and it always sounds terrible in the recording. Um, but and I'm going to really, if you follow me on Facebook, then you will know that I just recently wrote about a bout of depression, and so I'm kind of interested in um what's going on with that. And so I want to really allow myself to be really expressive. So that's another reason why I want the volume to be off because you'll be able to see me working. If you want, I might speed it up. But like I feel like if I have the volume off, that's a little bit of privacy for me. So you can see how the work comes out. But I can, if I need to, I can emote. So, okay, so I'm blathering on enough. So I'm going to switch to my other camera. So I'm just writing on the paper that I'm going to be making art on. I'm just putting orange and blue, and I'm just going to scrawl some basic meanings, and I'm going to be painting right over it. So you are invited to do that as well. So I've just written some super basic associations with the color, like orange. I have a lot of association with my childhood in the 70s. Sun, sweet, warm, happy. And then for blue, sad sky, cool water. And that's as deep as I'm going to go. Those are just the first things that came to mind. And now I'm going to get into color. Hi, good morning. It's the next day, and I'm going to continue my exploration of opposite colors. Um, and talk a little bit about my experience. So if you haven't done this yet, you should go do it because I don't want to influence your your own insights, that you have your own personal meaning that you have. Like if you're doing the same colors I'm doing, I want you to have your own stuff for that. There's no right or wrong answers. So I hate that right there. That reflection drives me nuts. um I'll show you my painting in a moment, but I just want to talk about some of the insights that I had. Um, and some realizations that I had about why I'm, some of the struggles that I'm going through right now. So I already, wrote down like orange, that some of the associations that I had with that. And one of them was like sun. And I just, some of the further things that I had were the sun is so reliable, returning to us every day. And the blue, just started to seem to be about, depression and water and depth and just the interplay between those things. And I was thinking about like the tides and the moon and just these different rhythms of nature, and just how they all come together sometimes, and sometimes they're all kind of chill. And when I'm depressed, it's so unbearable. I'm like kind of a wimp about it, and I kind of lose my grounding, But one of the things that I realized yesterday is how strong I am, and that, for a while I was really fearful about, is this going to get worse? Am I going to really have some life altering levels of depression? And I don't think I am. I think, it seems to be pretty consistent, especially now that I'm in menopause. It doesn't, it's the ups and downs aren't as frequent. And and I have like banked all of this experience about what works for me. And so eventually I remember this is going to pass, just be in it, just get through. And so I feel a lot better today. And I also probably feel a lot better because I did this art piece. Like I just really needed to get back into my studio and just make anything. It's so hard to make stuff sometimes. Um, anyway, so yeah, so I had just some like heat, cool, mood, rhythm kind of reminders. But the thing that I really was aware of is as I try to step into this like leadership role where I'm helping people who have a hard time connecting with their intuition or with a deeper self-expression and the perfectionist and they want to loosen up. Um, First of all, like one of the things I want to say is that's something you have to return to over and over. It is a practice. Like I pride myself on my ability to work intuitively and expressively, and I have to get there. It's not automatic. It is a place I have to do a little, not as much work as for some people, or on some days it's easier than others. But it is a practice. So if you're like, oh, I feel like this should be fixed, no, it's about that return, returning to that. So one of the things that the big insight that I had last night while I was working is I want to be in this leadership role. I want to do this where I'm sharing and it's public, and any old awful person can come when I am being really vulnerable on the camera and say things, or people I know, or like coworkers, and my boss. And what is that going to be like? And I just had this really strong, like, I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I need some boundaries on that. I need boundaries on what's, I get to save some of it, some of that vulnerability for my own private process. And I can talk about it in a more digested way later, but that I need some space. And I think it's not that I didn't know that, I just didn't realize it was impacting me so much, that there was just this performance aspect that was bringing out some perfectionist feeling and some judgment, um, and just awareness of what people are going to say about where I am as I share honestly where I am in my creative life. There are people that are ahead of me that might look back and just be like, oh, she's such an amateur. Yeah, I am. I am. This is my life's work, but I'm not some big fancy, maybe I don't have anything of value to offer many people, but I've been in this writing course. It ended, but it was good. I think it also triggered some depression because I had to like really be honest about a lot of things about doing this. And I think I just really kind of had this crisis, like, now that I see what this means for me, do I really want to do this? Why? And I think I do still. I think it's important work. Um, and it's a baby, this venture I'm on is a little baby right now, and it needs me to take care of its needs on its behalf for a while it grows. And so that means boundaries that keep me feeling safe, allowing me to kind of digest things and choose what I put out there. It also means pondering what it means to have a thick skin. Like if you're putting yourself out there, knowing that you're going to get comments that you don't like, that there's all kinds of comments. Some of them are harsh critiques. Some of them are people just explaining, but sharing what they know, and they're excited, and it's pretty innocent. And then there's trolls, and I don't need to worry about that right now. I'm small potatoes, but the fear of that is very real. And um there was a point I was going to make, and now I can't remember. The baby. I have to protect the baby. Oh, what it means to be thick-skinned. Like, what does that mean? And what's the cost of that? So does it mean you just don't engage? Like I think about like again, like these young, did I ever talk about this? I can't remember. Young women influencers, and the comments that they get are awful. They get all kinds of people telling them what to do, just criticizing everything about them. And mixed in there are these really like positive comments like, thanks, this is really helpful, or that looks delicious. It's like food stuff. Um, and how, like, if they want to engage with the positive comments, they have to become aware of the ones that are really negative and process that, and maybe they're able to just go there and just their eyes glaze over. But it's asking a lot to read things and to make this decision to take it in or not, and then go to the next one and the next one. And I can see why people just like, I'm just not going to be able, sorry, thank you for your positive comments, I'm not even going to be able to read them, because it puts me in this space of seeing things that I just don't have the energy to process. So I have a lot of respect for these younger women with big platforms, because they got a lot coming at them, and I see it happening, and I know it won't happen for me because I'm menopausal and invisible, and who cares? But they're doing like important work for the collective unconscious, like, on the front lines. And so be kind to our younger sisters that are doing stuff that we just did not have to deal with. So that was kind of one of the big insights that I had, and why I mean, it was all wet. I needed to stop working on it anyway. So I'm interested in what happened for you, if you had any insights beyond your initial stuff. And it doesn't have to have anything to do with the colors or the opposites. But I can relate it to this sense of like public and private. Public, the sun, everyone sees the sun. Private, not everyone sees what's under the water, what's in the depths. And so now what? Now what? I think on my artistic journey, it always feels like there's working intuitively and in this kind of healing way where it's very process oriented. And then there is art that is a little bit more deliberate, where I kind of know what I want to make. And maybe I'm working intuitively within that, but I'm definitely being much more, I'm directing much more. And I think that is hard, how to balance intention with working intuitively. And so I think, definitely, just switch my camera. I worked very intuitively on this. And maybe I got everything I needed to get out of this. Maybe I don't need to do anything else. But I want to. This has an energy in it now. It gave me something. It delivered me something. And if I stop now, it then it just because then it's just this piece of paper that was a gift that I don't, it's like when someone sends you a greeting card with a nice message in it. It's like, well, what do I do with this now? I want to keep it, but I don't want to keep it, Um, so where do we go from here? Like, I remember when I was working on it, there was this kind of figure that came out. You can kind of see it in here. And I liked that. And I kind of want to bring that back. And so for me, in my process, I want to bring this figure back in. I'm going to be disappointed. I don't know how to draw it. I don't know how to draw what I am picturing, with the shoulders at a certain angle and the face looking a certain way. And it's kind of, it's like a winged figure. How do I make that work? And do I want to keep these words in here? No, I don't. I want to get rid of those. But there's a lot that I like, but anything that I like in here, I have to let go. But the process gave me this image of this figure taking off and scanning the water. And that was the gift. That was what my connection to source chose me to deliver. So now I'm going to move into a process where, I'm going to look a little bit at to understand the angle of the body that I want to get. And I'm going to like work that out in my sketchbook and kind of practice that so I can come back to working intuitively and complete the gift. Okay, I know this looks really odd right now, but I know where I'm going with it, and I just need to let this layer dry, so I'll come back later. Bye for now. Hello, I am just checking in with how things are proceeding. So I will switch to the other camera. Okay, so this is all dry now, and I haven't done anything. Oh, sorry about the autofocus. I haven't done anything else with it. But I did kind of play around with practicing drawing. And I was thinking about what it means to be honest. Like, what does that mean? And like, I definitely feel like things are getting better, but which one is honest? You know, like this one, what I don't like about it is it's kind of cartoony looking. And I can't, this paper, it just doesn't work with any wet media, which is too bad because these used to be fine, and they're okay if I gesso the pages, but so I'm having to use acrylic ink. And this one, like I used a reference image, and it's definitely It's probably kind of hard to see. But I just, used a little bit more drawing skill. And I don't know what to do next, but like, how do we, because this has like this is definitely not done. But it has like an awkwardness that I really like in artwork. And that this doesn't have, like, even though I'm using more deliberate skill in this, I don't know, like, how do you evaluate that? And this is kind of in between. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. So one of the things that's going on is that I kind of want to move away from the orange and the blue, and to do something that's different color wise. And so I'm going to do a light, like watery gesso layer over this, if I can. Hi, another update, which is that I have continued working on the pieces and they've all developed in different directions. And so I want to show that and just talk about that a little bit. I worked on it quite a bit more. I also, because I had folded it, I decided to fold it all, which I have mixed feelings about. But this is really close to being done. The only thing I might add in is I had this dream about a snake. So I might add the snake in. I thought I had a sketch somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. So I might add that in because it is a part of the meaning of all of this stuff that I'm working through. So I'm going to do that. And I wanted to just do some finishing things. Like there's this kind of, do I want to do that? I don't know. I'll think about that. I have some refinements to make. I wanted to add a little bit, just fix some things. But this is super close to being done. And then I had this piece, which has changed a lot. And I think it's done. I don't think there's anything else I want to do on this piece. And so what do I like about this? What I like about it is it's kind of bridging that semi-abstract line that I'm always kind of hovering around. So some of this is, a little bit more, what's the word that I want? Developed. I spent time to try to get this to be a certain way. And some other things are, not refined at all. I'm trying to, this almost looks like a shadow, and it kind of makes me want to change that a little bit and maybe adds, and I might need to, okay, I think it's not done. I want to add a little bit more, but I don't want to render it too much, but that bothers me. And it bothers me that this feels like it has a shadow, but the other things don't. And my art teacher, when I was in college, said that it looked like my arm was extruded. So I'm always sensitive about how I do arms. So I might just refine that a little bit. But it's all messed up. I mean, if I'm going to refine that, then I need to refine like this butt cheek. Um, so in any case, I might refine that. And then there's this piece, which I haven't quite worked out how I'm going to do this. I'm not sure where I want to put these just yet. Uh, and they need to be glued down because originally I kind of like on here, how I like how one's kind of wrapped around the arm. So I thought about doing that. But I kind of like being able to see a little bit of boob, but I don't know. So I haven't figured that part out yet. It actually is helpful for me to see it on the screen. I don't like that. That's too spread out. And then I have one more. I have a blue leaf as well, but I think I prefer the three. I think that's too many and it's too saturated. Do I want to flip it? No, I don't like how that mirrors. So, and I wanted to add, I think, on this one I had the copper colored ink. I think on this one I'm gonna use some gold. And I want to do a little bit more with the face, but I'm not sure what yet. I just want it to be a little bit more pronounced. I'm not thrilled with how it looks right now. So, I might work the face a little bit. And so I'm gonna work on that and then, and I'll just like have it on fast mode and you will not hear my screams if things don't go the way I want. But this is the hard part, right? Because I'm so close to being done. I just want to, refine things. And it's in that refining that things can go wrong. I have a little bit of leeway because I work semi-abstractly. But that's the risk. I'm also like I was really happy at first with how this looked, but I think I might put this was just like gray ink. I think I might put one more layer on there and maybe bring out some of these things with some black ink and just kind of up the contrast. It's looking a little bit washed out. So those are the things I'm going to do. I'm getting tired. Um, and the only thing I covered this with clear gesso because I want to do something with these, and I just kind of wanted to seal everything because as you can see, the paper is kind of starting to disintegrate. So I did that just to give it some strength. But right now, these are just feeling kind of stuck on, and I'm not really sure how to integrate them. So I'm gonna think about that, but I think it's pretty close. It's a little like Native American looking, which I totally do not want. Like, I want this to be more like alien or like post-apocalyptic. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to resolve these. I think they might just need a little bit more rendering on them, which is scary because it's collage. So, or maybe it's fine. I don't know. So, I think for the purposes of this workshop, I am going to stop there. So I have this piece, which I might work on some more. I'm not sure. I think it kind of just is what it is. I don't know that I can fix what I want to fix. Might be too late. And then this one, I'm at a stuck point, and then there's this one, which is basically done. I just want to work on the eye a little bit more. Right now, it's just looking kind of stuck on there. In fact, I think I know what I'm going to do, and I will do it in a moment. So thank you for sticking it out and being part of this with me. It means a lot. Thank you so much. And I hope that you try it. And because I got obviously like one prompt working with orange and blue yielded 3 artworks. So that's good.